All right, good morning. So here's what we are going to be doing today. We're going to try and figure out how we can get an image from the internet safely, copyright free, and get it onto our Scratch program. So you have actually two choices for how you can do that today. You can go to pixabay.com or we can go to unsplash.com. Now, this may not be the absolute perfect way. I kind of wanted to use a PNG, which had a clear background, but I don't think that that's really an option. So what's joy about Unsplash is that they're free and you can use them anywhere. You've got no worries about copyright. So what I'm going to search up is airplane because I need a sprite of an airplane for my program that's going to work. So this picture is perfect for my purposes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download it, saves it. Shout out to Nick Morales. Thanks for putting this out there for free. And then I'm going to go into my program. Now, those are ones that didn't work. So if I'm going to add a new sprite to my program, I would do that first before I did any coding. So you go to the choose a sprite and you go to the upload button. Now, I know Nick Morales is my guy. He's right there. I'm going to open it up and that's going to pop this in as a sprite for me. There's the whole picture. There's the plane. That's perfect. And the cool thing is you can go into costumes and decide which part of this you actually want. So I'm actually going to trim this up a bit because I don't feel like I need the top half of this plane. So I'm going to select it with the select button and press delete. And now I've just got this plane. That's perfect. You know what? I'm also going to select this because I'm going to choose a different background, maybe delete that. Delete that. And now I've got my plane that I kind of like. I don't like this little piece at the bottom that I forgot. Delete that. And now I can go back to coding. And now I know I've got my plane. It's this size. I can change size. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. And it's all on me. So that's how you upload a custom image from unsplash.com or pixabay.com to your program. So now I can actually code this airplane to take off. I can have it move from here. So I'm just going to show you how simply we can do it to make it move. So remember, events is how we make things happen. So this is when the program starts, or maybe I want it to be when spacebar is pressed, the plane takes off. And then when I press a different button, I talk about my different aspects of my flight: thrust, drag, weight, all four of those, even though I only mentioned three. So maybe when I press spacebar, I want the plane to take off. Well, at the start of my program, so when the program starts, I always want my plane to be here in this bottom corner. That's where I want the plane to start. So when I look at my motion, wherever you pop it, see if I move it, you can see that the X and Y's move. So where he is on the Cartesian plane actually moves. So I'm going to put the plane to where I want it, the bottom right corner. So X 122 all the way over here to the right, and Y it's almost at 0. So it's actually telling me this piece of the plane is right there. And so that's where he's going to start always. And now when I press spacebar, I want him to fly up and off the page up to the top corner. I want him to glide. And I want it to take some time. I want it to look like he's taking off. So he's going to glide 2 seconds up to that top corner. So let's run this program. Press spacebar. Plane's taking off. That's amazing. Great. So I've already started that part of the process. That's how you do that. Now, when we look at our assignment today, there's going to be lots of other pieces that go into it, and you're going to have to figure out how to get your voice in there. And if I press certain buttons, so even the plane may have to say certain things. Press spacebar to see a takeoff. Great. So now press spacebar to see a takeoff. Okay. After it takes off, you'd be like, great. Now maybe you want to switch background. So again, if you want to know about the background thing, when we choose a background, you want to decide where do you want it to be at the start. So if we're at the start, I think I want it pretty simple because it's not actually going to look like much because he's just going to be taking off. So maybe it's taking off from, it doesn't make a huge difference. This is where he takes off from. Okay, so we know in looks, we want to make sure the backdrop is the boardwalk to start. And after he takes off, he's going to be going up into the sky. So we need to add a new backdrop to this blue sky. And this is when he's up into the sky. So after he flies, after he gets up into the sky, we're going to switch the backdrop to blue sky. So now let's try it. Press spacebar to see a takeoff. He's up in the sky. Great. Now what I could do is I could press a different button. The backdrop could switch again. And I could start teaching different concepts. So maybe now the question is, bet you're wondering how that happened. wondering how that happened, eh? I am wondering how that happened. So now what I would do is I would maybe either do a say button that says press this button to make a new background come up, and I could start teaching, and we could have this airplane hide, and you could start teaching about the different concepts of an airplane. Or you could broadcast a message that said, okay, chapter 1, thrust, or chapter 1, weight. And you could go through and have it piece by piece by piece. And I can make videos that help you with that as well later. But for now, I wanted to start here. Hope this helps. All right, bye-bye.